Hello there YouTube, welcome to sunny South London. I'm slyelessar, London street photographer, musician. Okay, so something I'd like to speak to you today is something that I'm quite passionate about, and that is London street photography locations. So first off, my most productive location by far is the South Bank. So let's say start at London Bridge and then make your way to South Bank through Borough Market, and I will come back to Borough Market. The vast amounts of characters, interesting people, interesting events, things to witness, moments. You've got the river and the architecture. There's so much going on South Bank that you can go back and forth there. In fact, I do. You can go back and forth there weekly, monthly, whenever, and get all kinds of different people, different shots. You've got stalls that sell books, food, street performers that change all the time. You've got museums all along the South Bank. You've got lots of bridges for some great shots with bridges. There's so much going on with South Bank. Get yourself over to South Bank and go and do some photography, because I guarantee you'll get some fantastic shots. Borough Market. Now, I'm doing this after the tragic attack at Borough Market. It's very sad, very sad. However, Borough Market, up until the attack, has always been a great place for street photography and for fantastic street food as well. Some lovely food and some lovely drinks, and all sorts of things in Borough Market. It's worth visiting. But Borough Market was always one of my favourite places to visit for street portraiture. So everybody's shoulder to shoulder. It's quite busy. You can get street portraits as you're walking past. You've got a little area at the back with steps that lead up towards the London Bridge. It's another cool place to just go and take photographs. At the moment, or last week at least, it was closed, and I can understand that. But at some point down the line, if it reopens, go and make a visit and go there, try the food, purchase some bits and bobs, try and help the market thrive, and then go there and get some great street shots. Portobello Market is a very interesting one. I know there's another market attached to Portobello Market. So you've got the one that goes up or down the hill, and then you've got the one further along with all the food stalls. Now, the reason I'm saying Portobello Market is because you've got stalls that sell everything, shops that sell all sorts. You even get vintage camera stalls along there that sell some really cool gear. Go check them out. And I'm all about promoting local stuff, especially in London. So along Portobello Market, which is a very long, and the other market, it's a very long stretch where you can get lots of people interacting with each other, lots of interesting characters, some buskers, and loads of vintage stalls selling all sorts of vintage stuff. And that sort of leads me into Camden, even though they're nowhere near each other. Well, they're both technically in London. That leads me to Camden. Now, Camden has the Lock, it has the old stables, the horse hospital, whatever it was, which is fantastic. You're going to need your low-light performers in there. You're going to need to be at 1600 ASA and low aperture when you're in there, just because it's a lot darker. You've got the canal. Now, the canal's lovely. Take a walk down there. Even if you're not getting quite as many normal street shots, it's worth the experience. There's a Chinese restaurant on a boat, gondolas that go up and down, and I think it eventually leads to Little Venice. Can't remember. But Camden is full of alternative activity. It is full of alternative people. It is full of characters. It is full of laughs. It is full of grit. I love it. It's one of the nicest places to go. It's a cool place to go in London, basically. However, Camden is the one place where I've had more negative reactions to street photography. Several times I've had different things happen there, and there's a funny story. I think I've got it on my my Yashica 50mm video. Go and check that out for a funny story involving Camden. So please be aware of that. But it's a great place to go and a great place to shoot and go and get a shot of the canal. So Trafalgar Square and Leicester Square, probably going to sound very boring and touristy. However, you're not taking pictures of the lions or the fountains necessarily. You might be taking pictures of people taking pictures of them, but again, you've got the steps in Trafalgar, and you get all sorts of characters sitting on the steps, eating, drinking, having a laugh in groups. Always a great place to get shots of different people, and it's constantly changing there every sort of half an hour. You've got different people, and that can lead you around to Leicester Square. Leicester Square is another one where you get street performers and loads of different people moving in and around and interacting with each other. Again, Covent Garden is the same thing. They're not like South Bank and they're not like Camden. They're not gold mines, but you can get some shots you didn't think you would get there. And it can be handy just to get some pick-up shots, I like to call them. You've gone out, you've got some shooting, you've got some really cool urban stuff, some other stuff you like, but you just want to get a few shots of candid shots of people. They're quite good places to go and get that done. Leek Street Graffiti Tunnel. Visit it. So go to Waterloo Station, come out the right hand side at the back of Waterloo Station. I think the road's blocked off at the moment. Go down the road a little bit and turn right. It's about 5 to 10, not even 10 minutes, about 5 minutes from the station. 10-minute walk if the road's blocked off the way it is. And go there because you've got fantastic colourful graffiti, fantastic black and white graffiti. Again, you're going to need your low light performance inside there. You might need a flash in there, but there is amazing street art in there, and it changes all the time, and it is worth seeing. It's worth getting shots. If you like getting that stereotypical shot of someone walking past graffiti, need I say more? So yeah, it's worth going there just to experience the tunnel as well. It's just to take about 5 minutes to walk through the tunnel, maybe a bit longer actually, because you're appreciating all the different street art that's in there. Just be aware of maybe there's an odd brick on the floor or the odd spray can and stuff on the floor laying around, but it's not dangerous. It is actually quite a touristy thing, fairly normal. You won't see tons of tourists in there, but what you will see is people going in there and taking pictures and things. I was expecting it to be a lot bigger. It's from descriptions and stuff online. When I first went there, I thought it was going to be huge. It wasn't. It was, and I sort of walked past it and had to walk back and go, "Oh, it's there." So yeah, go check Leek Street Graffiti Tunnel out. Fantastic. And that brings me on to architecture and stuff. The Barbican. The Barbican is great for architecture and abstract stuff. Take your wide-angle lenses, take your wide-angle cameras, those really long stretches of walls and columns, and there's a great place to go and have lunch as well. So if you want to go shoot and then go and sit by the fountains and have something to eat, you wouldn't believe, if you've never been there, you wouldn't believe that there was how big it is, and the fountains and stuff on the inside. In fact, you have to really explore. If you come from, I can't remember the name of the station. If you come from one particular side of it, you have to really explore to come across that part. But yeah, fantastic for architecture. Go check it out. I tend not to shoot around Oxford Street, Regent Street, because you get less interesting characters. Again, I'm not saying don't shoot there. You could look at it as the same as shooting in Leicester Square or Trafalgar, really, except for, I mean, the odd interesting building, you might find the odd character. It's London. Again, that leads me on to Soho. Soho is another place where you get interesting characters and things happen. You might have heard me talk about in my video where I nearly got hit by someone opening the door in a cab, and I happened to have my Ricoh on me that was on, primed and ready at hip shot level. And I just got the shot as she nearly hit me with the door, and it's one of my favourite shots of a really honest, cool moment that was happening. Nearly knocked the camera out my hand, but it's part of street photography, really. Soho's got cool characters. Again, try and be respectful of people, and of course, go off the beaten track and find other places and stuff. If you go to more outskirts, because I've been talking about a lot more central locations, be aware that you're going to stand out more with the camera. It's cool to go off the beaten track and do different stuff and get unusual shots. Feel free to stick some comments in of locations and stuff. because I'm always trying to find new things and go to new things, and let's try and help each other out. Find some locations, anything I've not mentioned here, I'm sure there's a load, stick them in there. But those are great places to visit if you are thinking about coming to London or doing street photography in London, and you're just starting out street photography. Where do I go? Where do I start doing this stuff without being sticking out like a sore thumb? They're the places to go. Anyway, I'm slyelessar. Have a good one.